Yes, hello everybody. So today I am going to discuss a very important bone, that is the hip bone. It is a very irregular bone and it is often considered difficult to explain to the students, but I will try my best to make it easier for you. Now this bone which is present, we have got two hip bones, and these two hip bones, they articulate in front at the pubic symphysis, and behind the two hip bones is lying the sacrum. So the two hip bones and the sacrum, they together form what is known as the pelvis. Now today I am going to discuss the hip bone. First of all, when you get a hip bone for your viva, suppose you are given a hip bone by the examiner for your viva, number one is you have to identify that yes, this is a hip bone. Number two is that to which side does it belong. Clear? Now to see to the side to which it belongs, we have to be familiar with certain bony landmarks of this bone. Now first of all, you should know that this hip bone, it is made up of three bones: ilium, ischium and pubis, and all these three bones, they articulate at the acetabulum, which is a cavity where the head of the femur articulates. And now if we see the three bones separately, let us first come to the ilium. Here you can see the ilium. Before that, most important is how will you hold the bone in the anatomical position. Now see, for holding the bone in anatomical position and to determine its side, what is done is that we keep this pubis anteriorly. Okay, this foramen is known as the obturator foramen. So three fingers we put like this in the obturator foramen. Here there is present an elevation which is called iliopubic eminence, and the index finger is put over this, and you can see the position of my thumb here. This is the greater sciatic notch, and my thumb is in the greater sciatic notch. So when I hold it in this position, this automatically comes to lie in the anatomical position. But again here, 2 points are very important, that is the pubic tubercle. This point is known as the pubic tubercle. Clear? And this point is called anterior superior iliac spine. Now these 2 points, they should be in the same coronal plane. When I say the coronal plane, I will try to explain to you. Like you can see here, this is the pubic tubercle, the lower point, and the upper point is anterior superior iliac spine. Clear? Now you can see these two are touching a vertical plane. So when these two touch a vertical plane, this bone comes to lie in the anatomical position. What I mean to stress is that this bone is not lying like this in our body. It is not lying like this. It is tilted. Okay? And the tilt will automatically come when this pubic tubercle and the anterior superior iliac spine, they will come to touch this coronal plane. Clear? So this is very important. First important thing. After that, we start describing the bone. I told you it is made up of three parts: ilium, ischium and pubis. Now when we discuss the ilium, we have got, now see, this flattened part is known as the ilium. Okay? It has got an iliac surface, and this lateral surface, this is called the gluteal surface, and it has got anterior border. This is the anterior border extending from anterior superior iliac spine, then there is a notch, then anterior inferior iliac spine, and then iliopubic eminence. This is the iliac crest. This is the iliac crest. You can see it is extending from anterior superior iliac spine up to the posterior superior iliac spine. This is the iliac crest, and the iliac crest, if you see, it has got an inner lip. This is the inner lip. This is the outer lip, and in between them is an intermediate area. Clear? And about 4 centimeters from the anterior superior iliac spine, there is a projection on the outer lip of the iliac crest, which is called the tubercle. Clear? Now, so the ilium has got this surface, that is iliac surface. This is the gluteal surface. This is the anterior border. This is the posterior border, from posterior superior iliac spine, posterior inferior iliac spine, up to the upper margin of the greater sciatic notch. Okay? And here you can see that on this surface, you can see the anterior almost 2/3 part is smooth, whereas this posterior part is rough, and it has got an auricular impression. It has got an impression which is shaped like an auricle. So this is actually to fit into the sacrum, to form a sacroiliac joint. Clear? So, and then medial border. This was the anterior border. This was the posterior border. This is the medial border of the hip bone. Clear? This is the medial border of the hip bone. Okay? If we come to the gluteal surface, now see, this is the gluteal surface. If we come to the gluteal surface, you can appreciate 3 lines over here. One line is this, another line is this, and third line is this. Okay? Now this line, which is extending from the anterior inferior iliac spine and goes above the acetabulum, this is the inferior gluteal line. Okay? Then this line, which is extending from the outer lip of the iliac crest, and it is winding and it is going on towards the middle of the greater sciatic notch. This is the anterior gluteal line. And then there is a posterior line over here. This is called the posterior gluteal line. It also starts from the iliac crest and then it disappears just behind the greater sciatic notch. So the gluteal surface is divided by these 3 lines, which give attachment to the gluteal muscles. Clear? Then we have, so this was just a general, I am telling you just the general features of the hip bone, which is also called innominate bone. Okay? And now this is the pubic bone. This is the body of the pubis. This is the pubic symphysis. This is the superior ramus of pubis, and this is the inferior ramus of the pubis. Okay. Now the superior ramus again has 3 borders. It has, you can see, one border is here. This is the anterior border. This one. This is this border which is here. This is called the pectineal line or pectineal border. And there is one border over here which is called the obturator or the inferior border. So here we have actually the superior surface which is facing upwards, posterior surface which is facing towards the pelvis. This is the posterior surface, and this will be the anterior surface which is between the anterior and the inferior borders. Okay? So this is the superior ramus. Body again has got outer surface and the inner surface. Inner surface is facing towards the pelvis, and this is the inferior ramus of the pubis. Inferior ramus has outer surface, inner surface, upper border and a lower border. Okay? And then third bone which we are left with is the ischium. Okay? Now ischium, you can see, this is the body of the ischium. This is the body of the ischium. Okay? This is the greater sciatic notch. This is the ischial spine. I will repeat. This is the greater sciatic notch. This is the ischial spine which you can see here. This is the lesser sciatic notch. And this part which you can see here, this is called the ischial tuberosity. This is called the ischial tuberosity. So this is the body. You can say this is the body of the ischium, and this is the inferior ramus of the ischium. And then you can also see in this view, you can see the acetabulum. it has got an outer smooth surface and an inner rough surface. Inner rough is called acetabular fossa, outer smoother is called the lunate surface, and here you can see a gap. Actually a ligament bridges this gap, which is called the transverse humeral ligament, transverse acetabular ligament, and here the head of the femur fits into the acetabular fossa. Okay, so these were some general features and an idea to give you what is the anatomical position, how to hold the bone, how to determine the side, and some general features which are very important. But the attachments I will be taking on in the next lecture. Thank you.